the second half. What was kind of discussed at halftime and what the team took there?
You know, what we talked about at halftime was just really taking it step by step, possession by possession. I thought when they got up 11, we didn't do a couple things like match and transition or scramble after an offensive rebound. We gave up a couple threes, and the body language was like the weight of the world was on everybody. So at halftime, we just talked about, let's just go out there and worry about getting the first defensive stop and then figuring out what happens on offense. Because sometimes I think with our guys, they look at it like, oh man, we're down 11. Wagner's a good team. Like this mountain that we can't climb is like in front of us. Instead of saying, if we just continue to work step by step, by the time you know it, you're gonna be halfway up the mountain. And then if you just keep doing it and keep doing it, you know, maybe you get to the top where you're able to get a win. And that's what we talked about at halftime. A lot of it wasn't necessarily, you know, basketball adjustments. We did talk about trying to get some more ball movement on offense, which is hard to generate against them because of how they deny and you know, how aggressive they are defensively. It makes it hard to run a lot of, you know, set offense. So, you know, that was what we discussed. But again, we just talked about doing it one step at a time and focusing on that. And you know, maybe halfway through we'll take a peek up and look and see how far we've gone. But just keeping our head down and keep going step by step.
Frustrating in the first half to be forcing so many turnovers but not scoring off of it. It seems like every time you guys got the ball, something else would happen.
Yeah, and I thought a couple of those turnover opportunities we had, we didn't make like the team play. You know, where we tried to do something that maybe wasn't there, and other alternatives were there for us that we didn't take advantage of. And so, you know, we came out to start the second half and we get 2 great ball movement possessions and 2 assists. And it was like, that kind of helped the weight of the world kind of come off our shoulders. And, you know, and then from there we knew that, you know, maybe we had kind of settled. But to go back to Amari's point, when we were down 11, you know, I was proud of the way they just continued to defend. You know, it was frustrating that we couldn't get, you know, some buckets like we needed to, but, you know, we battled back and tied the game at 20. And, you know, I think credit our guys for continuing to play through that stretch, because, you know, that's an easy time where you just say, you know what, forget it. You know, maybe it's not our night, and guys continue to work.
Kayvon obviously left drives in the lane, throws the ball over his head. He's made that play more than once, I'm sure, over his 4-year career here. What about that type of play for him really just kind of sets him apart?
It's something he works on. You know, it's you know, he does a great job of getting, you know, into people's bodies and being able to absorb some contact and still being able to get the ball up on the rim. And that was a huge play, especially late in the shot clock. But even in that possession, we had some good ball movement, some cutting, some activity. So then we were able to drive. The help wasn't maybe where it needed to be, and he was able to create that advantage. I mean, we know how quick he is and how he can always get into that lane. And that was a huge basket that he was able to get up there, and then he made the free throw. So one of the few guys that makes free throws for us at times, I guess, because we certainly make it interesting when it comes to the free throw line.
What did you think the team's energy was overall compared to Thursday? Thursday, it seems like there was some frustration about just the consistent effort.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was some frustrations again tonight, but I did think there was better energy. You know, Roberto Montiavani came, gave us a good lift off the bench. I thought Clive did a really good job off the bench. You know, Braden's been picking up fouls, but I thought he was urgent. He had a good stretch in the second half where he, I thought, really made some positive plays. You know, Day is a guy who always, you know, has good energy, Deshaun Burke. And so, you know, I thought our energy was more consistent tonight, and you know, allowed us to get make some of the plays that we needed to win.
What was it about Roberto today that made you play him after a month?
You know, some of it's the physicality of that game. You know, obviously they always have a guy who's really physical in and around the basket. You know, we were fortunate that Eamon, you know, got in foul trouble and wasn't able to be out there as much, but you know, Sumbri and Sanat, you know, those guys are, you know, big, strong, physical guys, and so you've got to be able to, you know, match some of that strength. You know, as well as we did offensive rebounding, you know, we still got out rebounded. They're a great rebounding team, and so I thought, you know, having another physical presence in there would be helpful, and he did a nice job.